Hi, welcome to a very special review of Eyes Wide Shut, directed by Stanley Kubrick, a film that follows a man as he gets a lot more than he bargained for as he goes on a sexual odyssey after having a fight with his wife on a cold December's night.
I need a cloak with a hood and a mask.
Okay, I think we'll find something for you.
I suppose you'd like the password.
If you'd like, sir.
Fidelia.
Thank you, sir.
You realize the danger you're in now.
You've been way out of your depth.
You've got to get away before it's too late.
First, one thing that has to be mentioned before I start this review is that Eyes Wide Shut is not exactly your typical Christmas film. So if you're looking for the great Christmas film to show the family, to show, Grandpa and Grandma and the kids, this is not gonna be for you. In fact, this would be horrible to watch. But if you're looking for a film that's a great Christmas film for the adults, then this is excellent. In fact, if you were to show this to the kids, they would most likely have nightmares because there's some pretty disturbing stuff in the middle of this film. I'll come back to that a little later in the review, but one thing I need to mention is the sensuality of the film. Eyes Wide Shut has been described as an erotic thriller, and I actually disagree with that. In fact, I would actually say that's actually quite demeaning to the film, considering that Eyes Wide Shut has so much more to offer than just that. And not only that, but really, I don't really find the film erotic in any sort of way. You're not actually meant to like these scenes. In fact, a lot of these scenes are a bit on the disturbing side. But kind of touching on the graphicness of these scenes, it's really not that bad. In fact, it's really no different than anything that you would watch on HBO at 8 o'clock on a Sunday night. It's really not bad. Is it something that you would want to watch with your entire family? No, but that doesn't make it bad, if you know what I'm saying. Now, one of the very many reasons I chose Eyes Wide Shut to review over the classics is for a variety of different reasons. Eyes Wide Shut has a lot to say. It has something to say about human relations, infidelity, the objectifications of women, the wealthy, secret societies, and oddly enough, beneath all of this stuff, it has something to say about Christmas. Perhaps the most obvious objection is with Tom Cruise's character. Instead of spending time with his wife and daughter during the month that is perhaps the most precious and most valued when it comes to spending time with family, he's out on this odyssey to get lucky. And yes, for those that did notice, I did just basically combine Stanley Kubrick's 2001 A Space Odyssey with Daft Punk's Get Lucky. Oddly enough, they kind of go together quite well. Especially Daft Punk's Touch, that track is very reminiscent of 2001. But besides the stuff regarding Tom Cruise's character, throughout the film, there are a lot of these warm, beautiful shots of Christmas decorations. There are hardly any scenes in this film without some sort of Christmas decoration or other types of paraphernalia. And furthermore, Larry Smith, the cinematographer, did an incredible job here. And I know this is saying a lot considering that this is Stanley Kubrick, but I would say that Eyes Wide Shut is perhaps his best looking film. With a mixture of Larry Smith's great cinematography and the nice warm glow that the Christmas decorations give off, it really creates a very atmospheric movie. It really is a mixture of all the stuff that really do give me this vibe as if I am walking the streets of New York and it's Christmas time. And funny enough, this wasn't even shot in New York, it was shot on the streets in London. And there's not for 1 second that I'm sitting there looking at the screen, okay, yeah, that was shot in London, that wasn't shot in New York, or that wasn't shot in America. It looks incredibly legit. When I'm looking for a Christmas movie, I'm looking for all of this stuff. I don't just want the film to tell me that it's taking place during Christmas or anything like that. I want the film to actually make me feel like, okay, I actually am looking at something that actually is taking place during the month of December. I want to see Christmas lights, I want to see Christmas decorations, all that stuff. So if you're like me, you're looking for that kind of stuff in a holiday film, you're going to get exactly what you want. But one thing that I have to talk about is the secret society that Tom Cruise's character attends at some point in the film. Not to give too much away, but the secret society scene, or the cult scene, is perhaps one of the most unsettling, off-putting scenes I've ever seen. And I mean that in sort of a good way. And it's not necessarily what you're seeing on screen that's so unsettling. It's more to do with the track that's being played. It's sort of a reversed hymn, and it's a bit on the satanic side. You know, it's kind of like the creepy cult gibberish humming stuff, or whatever you want to call it. That stuff creeps me out. Now, one of the many things to take from this scene, and a lot of people have their own theories of what Kubrick was trying to say by displaying such a scene. All of them are very interesting. Some of them are a bit on the wild side, but nonetheless very, very interesting. There is one thing to look for in this particular scene, and that is Christmas decorations. Do you see any? Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but throughout that entire sequence, there is not one Christmas decoration to be found, and I feel like in some ways Kubrick was saying something with that scene. Now, I would love to give more details, but unfortunately, due to spoiler reasons, I don't want to go any further in case you haven't seen the film. But for anyone who wants to talk about it, I will gladly talk about it, because I do think it is a very interesting thing to talk about, particularly that entire scene, because like I said, there is a lot to take from that scene. It's a very interesting scene. It's a very important scene in the film. So yeah. As for the performances, Tom Cruise gives one of his better performances in the film. Same for Nicole Kidman. She's really good. Her character's very interesting, to say the least. And the one that gives perhaps the best performance is Sydney Pollack. Although he's not in the film that much, he's still very good. Overall, although I have said more than I typically do in my reviews, I still feel like I've barely scratched the surface of Eyes Wide Shut, because the film is so rich in all these themes and all these subjects to discuss, and I think it's a fantastic film. I know this might not be the most popular opinion, but I actually believe Eyes Wide Shut to be among Kubrick's very best. I know a lot of people say A Clockwork Orange, 2001: A Space Odyssey, Dr. Strangelove, those are his best films, and I think Eyes Wide Shut is among those. I really do believe that Stanley Kubrick left us with one great last masterpiece, so with all that said, I'm going to give Eyes Wide Shut a 5 out of 5. It's absolutely fantastic. Now, it's not going to be everyone's thing, obviously, but if you're someone who's looking for a Christmas movie that greatly differentiates from the norm, then you are completely in luck, because Eyes Wide Shut is just that. So this is Colyn Kirkland wishing everyone out there who's watching this video a Merry Christmas, and thank you so much for watching.